So welcome to our latest FastTrack webinar. We're going to be looking at some of the highlights of the Dynamics 365 of customer engagement roadmap. And going forward, for the next 60 minutes or so, we're going to take you on a whistle-stop tour of some of the key updates across the sales, customer service, and marketing modules. Complete the overall April release. So we have picked out the core functionalities, and within this session, we will point those out to you. We'll try and keep some time in the end to take questions. This is make sure that content. Ask your questions on the chat. We'll try and take them. We'll try and take them during the end of the session. Also, you can follow up conversation with your FastTrack team architects to get more detailed review on how capability may align to your organization. With that, let's start talking about release notes. Okay, to begin with, let's get clarity on a few things, right? What does it mean when we say some of the features are in preview? A preview feature is a feature that is not complete, but is made available before it's officially in a release. This way, customers and organizations can get early access and provide feedback to us. Preview features aren't meant for production use. This is very critical information and may have limited or restricted functionality. That's why we recommend enabling preview features in sandbox instances and so on and so forth to try and test it out completely. Also, some of the key things on the release notes. They are published online on docs or are available in the PDF format download. These are normally released T-3 basically 3 months prior to the release cycle, which is, as highlighted in the slides, April and September timeframe. Complete documentation is what is planned. Complete documentation is available of what is planned in the coming months. So in April, we'll highlight what the features are all the way till September. And then again, in that release, we'll try and bring those points out. Any changes to release notes are directly published on the docs. A good area to maintain what changes are coming is go through the change history. When a feature release date is changed, we will update it in the change history. Or if a feature release is being updated with newer sets, then we'll update the release history as well. So you can keep a track of what changes are coming and what changes have been made through the following the release docs area. Another thing to point out is, hey, we have a Twitter handle, and you can always find out about updates to these release notes by following the Twitter, because we will tweet about the changes that are being done to the docs. So with that, I'd move to the release strategy side of things.
Yeah, and I'll.
Yeah.
Do you want me to? I'll cover this one. As Gibran says, our release note should really be kind of your single area to review our latest planned innovations. And as mentioned, we've got 2 major releases a year on April 1st and October 1st. These major updates will be announced, as Gibran stated, around 3 months prior to this date. But most of the capabilities will also have that early preview period to allow you to start to put it into your sandbox, play and test the functionality. And typically, this is available worldwide, usually around early February and August timeframe, and sometimes earlier depending on the feature. Throughout the year, we also have regular releases which contain updates that you may wish to adopt. So as and when these are planned and delivered, you'll see those updated into those release notes. So definitely worthwhile keeping reviewing and looking at the online site to see any changes. I guess the big distinction between updates announced in our major release versus the regular updates is essentially how that particular area may impact a user. So we're looking to ensure that essentially any automatic updates which come through for a user, a business user will see immediately, will come through on a major release only. Any features that are released via a regular update will require activation by the admin or the maker before a user may see it. So essentially then you have the decision to switch it on for the user through those regular updates. But just keep an eye on those major updates, because there could be something that the business user will see immediately once that's been applied. Okay. So we've talked a little bit about the release notes and where to get that information, but I want to switch focus now and actually drill down and have a look at some of our key features that we've released for the April release. I'll also talk a little bit about our strategy. It's a buzzword that we hear a lot at the moment, the concept of digital transformation, and businesses really need a set of solutions that can turn those single interactions into ongoing engagements. And we're looking to offer that connected series of intelligent services rather than just static products, so that you guys as customers can gain a complete 360-degree view of all your customers and the operations that surround it. Our strategy is really to continue investing in a powerful set of cloud services across Azure, Dynamics 365 and Office 365, but also align it with our AI, artificial intelligence technology, so that we can have more intelligent business insight and value, so that the user can start to have more intelligent information surfaced through the system, so they can have better conversations with their customers. And so with this in mind, what we're going to do is we're going to drill down into sales. I'll talk a little bit about that in more depth, and you'll start to see how our technology lights up through the sales scenarios, and then we'll cross across to Gibran, who'll talk about customer service, and I'll touch upon marketing as well. Let's move across into sales, and really the driving goal around our sales capabilities is around turning business relationships into revenue and enabling our salespeople to have the most valuable and relevant conversations they can with their customers to essentially win more deals. Our features are all aligned to the 3 key investment areas that you can see on the right-hand side there, and that's all focused around productivity, recommendation, and insight. And our investments are all around reliability and performance. So we really understand that our solution is mission critical to your business. And so when your users are using the system, we really want to ensure that it works as expected. We've made changes around the modern UI or user experience. With the introduction of the unified interface, it really opens the door for a much better user experience for a salesperson, whether they're on the go or whether they're internally based. We've added some capabilities, which I'll talk about in a second, around relationship selling. So your customers expect a personalized and engaged buying experience. And so we'll talk about the improvements we've made with areas like our LinkedIn integration. Sales productivity, again, I'll touch upon this in a bit more depth in a second, but we've really started to look at how we can provide intuitive experiences for the user to get their tasks done in the most efficient way. And so we'll be talking about some of the work we've done with Microsoft Teams and integrated that into the Dynamics 365 experience. Collaborative forecasting, another big area for us with the April release. Every sales organization needs the ability to be able to forecast effectively, manage their resources, look at their business success plan. And we're making some investments here so that customers can start to embed their forecast natively within the Dynamics application. Finally, another area that we've focused on for the April release is around enabling our ecosystem to start to light up their solutions in a more seamless way within the application. So we're cognizant of the fact that we can't really solve every problem for every customer as much as we'd love to, but we've got fantastic partners in our ecosystem that can light up their solutions seamlessly in the application. And we've made a real focus on CPQ partnerships, so that's pricing and quotation management within the April release. Okay, so actually what I'm going to do is drill into some of these. I can't touch on all of them in the time that we have, but let's maybe start with relationship selling with LinkedIn. Relationship selling is really core to what we do, and a salesperson really finds it's really handy to be able to view their potential account connections, spot relationships, and have a better engagement with their customer. And so with the unified interface, we reworked the integrations with LinkedIn so that it appears a lot more natively within the application, and the integration is a lot more seamless. You'll see with the UI changes, it's now easier to do things like track contacts as leads in the Sales Navigator, be able to see a complete history. So in-mails as activities are now visible within the timeline control. So you can start to see a complete view of all the interactions with that individual. And we're even working on the ability to do things like send in-mails directly from Dynamics in an upcoming release. But the biggest thing as well is the way that in which we've set up the application. It's a lot easier. Previously, there were a couple of packages that you had to install, and we've now merged those into one out of the box. It's a great piece of functionality to look at if you're a salesperson looking to gain more customer insight and identify potential warm introductions to new leads. And linked to this, we've also enhanced our live org chart as well. This was originally released in public preview back in October, but definitely worth a mention today as it's now in general availability. So let me talk a little bit about what it does. As a salesperson, being able to map organizational relationships really helps to understand who reports to whom and identify key decision makers that they want to potentially build a relationship with. The org chart makes it really simple to build. It's got drag and drop interface, so you can start to connect people together and have a look at them. But linked to what I was just talking about with LinkedIn, that's now natively integrated to allow you to view the most up-to-date profile information whilst looking at the hierarchy. You could even take appropriate steps to update the record, which will go and update Dynamics in the background. So it's a really great way to start to see a visual display of all of your accounts and how individuals within that account interact. So two great pieces of functionality there worth having a look at from a sales perspective. The next is Playbooks. Now, Playbooks are a great way to support a salesperson during a deal process. So if they encounter blockers or events where they may need guidance on some form of best practice or a set of actions, then this is a great piece of capability to switch on and make available to your teams. So let me give you an example. Let's say key stakeholders of a deal leaves a company, or maybe a company that you're working with, a customer, mentions that they're potentially considering a known competitor in addition to yourself. Sales organizations can create playbooks, which are a set of repeatable sales activities to give users a set of clear actions to work through to potentially help resolve that challenge. So, for example, when a champion leaves, the seller can launch the relevant playbook and then run through a set of tasks to kind of guide them through how they should start to identify and build a relationship with a new champion. Now, playbooks were released before April, but what we did not have was the ability to attach sales materials to a playbook, which is what we received a lot of feedback on. So now for the April release, this has been adjusted. So you can include not only tasks, but also documentation as well. So product documentation, maybe competitive guides, could be a template document, or whatever's really required for that salesperson to move forward can then be attached into here. Good thing for a salesperson to have in their kit bag. If I move on to productivity, I talked a little bit about this earlier, and more and more companies are using tools like Microsoft Teams to enable collaboration across their business. And it's important to ensure for us that the integration works as expected and also has the flexibility to handle as many different business scenarios as possible. And we're really thinking about this in terms of two ways. First is when a user is collaborating on Teams, they may want to access key customer data from Dynamics 365 without leaving the context of that conversation within the team record. And then second, whilst in Dynamics, let's say I'm looking at an opportunity in Dynamics on a particular deal, and the seller wants to be able to communicate with the rest of the sales team. And that may not just be a Dynamics user about a potential deal update or a blocker or something that the user might want to share. So what we've done is we've created experiences for both with the Teams integration, and it's now possible to add Dynamics as an app to a team and then pin individual records to channels as tabs. And this makes it really easy to quickly access the information in Dynamics whilst at the same time discussing the opportunity directly within the channel without leaving Teams. And then from Dynamics, users and administrators can also pin records to any available channel and create a connection. And what that means is once a connection is created, not only can you start to have visibility and start to communicate through the chat channel, but also you can document and track files as well. So the Teams file site is automatically added to the Dynamics record as a file location. So it allows users in Teams or Dynamics to share the same file documentation sources and information together. So this is great if you have a large deal team, potentially across multiple areas that need to work together and collaborate. So I love this piece of functionality, definitely worth having a look at. If we move across to forecasting, every organization does some form of sales forecasting to better understand their business, take a look at potentially their sellers' performance and start to plan, what's next for the future. In our April release, we are releasing in public preview the ability to do collaborative forecasting natively within Dynamics. And so what that means is it allows a seller and a manager to tag deals for their forecast, and a manager can create a hierarchy of forecast over a given period, could be over quarters, over a year or beyond, to essentially give visibility into their numbers. Managers can then start to make adjustments to the provided forecast to ensure that you've got accuracy, add notes and details into that as well. So it's just a great way to make informed decisions and start to track a more predictive forecast. They're just some of the highlights that we've added into the sales application with the April release. And actually, if we move across to artificial intelligence for sales, sales individuals are always looking to be one step ahead when anticipating the needs of prospects and customers. And the Dynamics 365 for AI for sales is across the complete life cycle of a sales opportunity from beginning to end. So it's a great way to provide key nuggets of insight to the salesperson for smarter selling, regardless of what stage they're at within that opportunity. And what you can see on the slide here is each of the areas you can see we have some functionality to assist a sales individual with their customer engagement, whether that be to help with networking or provide talking points or analyze conversations to spot trends. This is really a great way to start to provide value to that individual. For a business looking to drive sales user adoption, this is a great way to deliver success. We can't cover each one of the items that you can see on this slide today, but definitely take a look at the docs site for more information, and speak to your FastTrack team member as well. They'll have a really good insight into all the detail around AI. I've also put a link on this slide, which will allow you to go and have a look at some demos and some examples. There will be a couple of areas that I'll call out today. I'll call out, there is a public preview feature to aid sales managers with coaching. So I'll talk a little bit about that now, and also the analysis of call conversations as well. So you can start to, pick up key buying signals or any concerns. So let's start with the sales app. To be able to see useful insights of sales data, all targeted around supporting a manager on staff conversations, making sure that the manager can start to evaluate and improve performance of their team, start to see key players. This AI application kind of gives you some key nuggets of data that you can start to drill into and start to have a look at. The app will show team performance, it will show business performance, and it allows a manager to do things like ask basic questions around how their team are performing and start to review things like financial statistics as well. So this, should be the start of a working day for potentially a sales manager to be able to see exactly what's going on with their business and start to have targeted conversations. The call intelligence aspect as well, I think it's fantastic. And this enables you to start to do smarter coaching with your sales teams as well, especially if they're maybe internally based and doing lots of calls, to be able to analyze those calls to pull out things like statistics on sentiment, maybe keyword mentions. So if you can hear buying signals from the customer, or they're mentioning a competitor one too many times, then you can start to analyze that information and start to spot key trends. And start to really see insights about that conversation. So potentially you might want to coach the salesperson to take a different approach, or start to give further details, or even share that conversation with other sales teams so they can start to hear what best practice looks like, for example. Great piece of functionality. There's, again, full details are on that document's website to have a look at how you can start to play with it. As mentioned, it's in public preview. But definitely worth having a look at if you've got internal teams that are starting to manage those recordings. And so that is a very quick whistle-stop tour of sales. But what I'd like to do is hand over to Gibran, who's going to talk a little bit about the customer service aspects and the exciting capabilities that we've got in that area.
Thank you, Ellie. All right, so let me walk you guys through what features do we have in general availability and being enabled for public preview in terms of customer service side of things. Look, one of our aims is to enable businesses to differentiate themselves from competition by providing world-class customer experiences. Right now, customers today value the ease and speed of resolution, and they want to receive the service on their preferred channel of engagement at any time on any device. We as T365 product group are enabling these capabilities by building an intelligent omni-channel customer experience for an empowered agent experience. That's the key areas we are looking at, right? As keeping the same trend from the sales slide, I have highlighted the key areas of investments. I've just moved them to the left and kept the our goals on the right, just to differentiate between sales and my slide. Overall, the points that we are looking to enhance that I will discuss in the next few slides are mainly in the areas of Omni-channel Hub for Dynamics 365, which is a cloud-based service that extends the power of Dynamics 365 for customer service to enable organization instantly and engage with their customer. A true Omni-channel experience is built within the product, preserves the context and provides continuous experiences seamlessly through self-service, peer-to-peer service, assisted service channels, basically giving all the channels in one area to empower the agent experience. Okay, we are making enhancements to knowledge base authoring and analytics experience, empowering KB with analytics, which we call as knowledge management analytics, can provide or help us identify usage and respond to gaps in knowledge base usability overall. Case management has always been a cornerstone capability within the customer service. We are reworking some of the key experiences to improve usability and productivity. And this is what we're going to try and highlight in the next few slides for customer service. So moving on to the next slide. Thanks, Haley. Form density. So one of the areas that we have, one of the key areas that we have feedback we received from previous case forms was to reduce the amount of white spaces, provide the customer service rep more information on single screen. This was all done to improve readability and decision making, ultimately to reduce call handling times, because you're not switching from one form context to another tab to another form context. We're trying to build a form that contains the required information within one pane. We have to do this basically to make these changes. We heard the feedback. We have reduced our font size, removed the excess spacing between sections so the users can have more on a page. We have changed the design pattern, and this can be seen across on the unified interface that we have done, as Haley's been talking about as well. This is across the application. To give more enhances on to the customer service agent, we have created an enhanced timeline tile with improved information density, which allows agents and supervisors to visually active to visually see the activity snapshots in a few clicks. What this does is, for example, you want to have a quick look at what activities a case has had, or how many of those activities are still active, or activities that were overdue. These timeline enhancements will provide this in a simple snapshot. So you just expand that and we'll show you total activities, closed, active ones, and so on and so forth. Similarly, as highlighted in the screenshot, case suggestion is another capability that we have had in preview and is now general availability. This allows the agents with knowledge and expertise that was available only with experienced agents. What do we mean by that? So some engineers who worked or agents who have worked on issues multiple times know what the resolution is. With this feature, agents that can then leverage resolution steps in resolved cases, thus making inexperienced agents as productive as an experienced one. So what we do is we highlight, as per the analytics from background, what the cases might be the same ones, and using their resolution, the agents can close their cases as well. So these are the key areas that we've done on the core customer side. Yeah, thanks, Haley, for changing it. So knowledge management is another area. Knowledge articles rating is a feature that is now available in April release. It empowers agents to easily provide feedback on knowledge articles and helps knowledge managers maintain a healthy knowledge base. How could this? What does it translate into? Allowing article ratings enables customer service agents to provide feedback on knowledge articles within the context of a case resolution. So when you're resolving a case, you can rate an article. The agents can vote up or down an article, and when they open it from the knowledge-based search tool control, this feature is available now. They will also have the option to comment on how an article can be improved. Right. As an administrator, you can configure knowledge-based search control to automatically filter knowledge-based articles based on case data without any manual input from the agents. This gives a breadth of flexibility on what an agent can see within the case screen. For example, if you set up automatic filtering of knowledge articles on a case subject, articles with the similar case subject will be filtered and shown to the agents automatically. Other articles will be filtered out, so reducing the noise, giving the right information on the screen, helping the agent reduce the amount of effort that might need to look for those articles. This feature can be extended to automatically filter knowledge articles on any lookup field that is present in both case and knowledge article entity. Administrators and agents can also have an option to turn off automatic filtering and be able to search the entire knowledge base manually themselves. This is one of the key areas that we've done. We've updated on knowledge article side of things. Kelly, can we move to the next slide, please? All right, thank you. Going to USD, Unified Service Desk for D365 CE is a very important integral framework that we have. Right. For those who are not aware of what USD is, I'm just going to give you an overview of what it is and then walk through what enhancements we are going to bring in. Right. This framework has grown heavily over the past years with the release. We've enabled USD desktop to host both processes of Chrome as well as Edge and Internet Explorer. Previously, this was only supported for Microsoft browsers. This is a big step in our commitment to opening our platform to other technologies. With this feature, customers will have the ability to select Chrome processes as a hosting type for organizations. And not only that, we have provided the platform the ability to select Chrome process for select web applications. So for certain scenarios, you can do side by side with Internet Explorer and Microsoft Edge, where situations of compatibility are, an underlying decision maker. So you not only now get to run USD within an Edge or Internet Explorer process, you can also enable Chrome processes. Okay. The other aspect that we have enabled is the channel integration framework with USD. This opens the platform for integration with third-party cloud-based channel providers with communication widgets being CTI and so on and so forth. Again, extending our platform further to provide easy enablement of agent and organization. Now you don't have to go through the extensive CTI. There are simpler ways to onboard a CTI solution and so on and so forth. This communication widget can be used with USD with minimal configuration experience. So again, enhancing the user experience. One of the other things that we had taken a feedback on was single sign-on. So single sign-on for Unified Service Desk is now enabled, and it provides improved startup performance and user experience, basically by authenticating users to access D365 engagement apps without the need for entering the credentials multiple times. This eliminates the process of providing your username and password, and minimizes the possibilities of user errors with incorrect username and password. This is now available with USD. Another important area of enhancement we've done is caching. We know caching is one area, if done efficiently, helps improve application performance. With configuration cache version option in April release, this allows the client caching feature to retrieve specific configuration that has undergone change from the customer engagement server to the agent desktop, and avoids retrieving all configurations. So that's the underlying difference, right? Now, how does this help? Think of a following scenario, right? An organization may have several departments, and each department has a configuration which with agents added to them based on their roles. Now, whenever you make a change to one of those configurations, the configuration version feature only downloads the configuration that you made the change on, right? That's not just it, right? We went further and we gave the feature a better or more enhanced update, where in a shared desktop environment, which normally is the case in call centers and USD usages, right? In a shared desktop environment, when an agent assigned to other configurations sign in on the client application, this feature the feature basically doesn't download the configuration if it's not impacted by that user, thus improves the startup performance of USD. So, overall, this helps in better application lifecycle management on USD side of cases, where organization wants to make changes in pilot configuration without impacting production users, right? This is very key enhancement that has come in. Another feature that we have enabled is stacked notifications. Now users will see multiple stacked notifications for multiple conversations within the USD frame. You can configure multiple notification control and invoke actions independently of each other. So this is another feature that we have enabled in USD. Moving forward, we'll go and talk about, I mentioned Omni-channel Engagement Hub, right? And that being one of the key areas that we're bringing changes to. So to highlight, as I said, right, the Omni-channel Engagement Hub is a cloud-based service that extends the D365 customer service to enable organization to connect to customers via chat, SMS, and modern customizable UI, which allows you to utilize this all within one frame. I have a screenshot. It's not as fancy as Haley's had in her slides, but I've tried putting a screenshot because this is in public preview right now. You can see on the left hand pane you have the chat going on, whereas the call screen's already there with all the notes and timeline features within one screen. So this app offers contextual customer identification, real-time notification, integrated communication, and agent productivity tools like knowledge-based integration, search, and case creation to ensure agents are effective from within one frame. Right. Supervisors can get real-time and historical visibility and insights into operational efficiency of agents and the utilization across various channels. When I say channels, we're talking about live chat and SMS and things like that, right? I will talk about SMS. We keep repeating it. So SMS channel is another powerful mechanism for organizations to reach and interact with their customers in a timely and convenient manner. We've enabled two-way conversation messaging through SMS that can help organizations increase their customer satisfaction, improve agent productivity, and reduce support costs when compared to possibly phone and voice channels. With Omni-channel Engagement Hub, we customers can or organizations can now bring their own bots as well, right? Now, the one of the things that I want to highlight, yes, the bot is enabled for the bots that are built on the Microsoft bot framework. You can connect them with the Omni-channel Engagement Hub ecosystem. As part of bring your own bot features, you can now leverage the natural language understanding to resolve routine issues using Dynamics 365 AI bots, allowing the agents, right? Allowing more time for agents to work on complex issues and configuring it in such a way that warm transfer to an agent can happen with complete context of the conversation based on sentiment and other rules. So you can configure that. I'll talk about this in the AI aspect because that's where this falls in, to talk about a bit more in the next few slides to give you a better context. Moving further, as I said, one of the areas we've been really heavily investing on is the AI for customer service, right? AI for customer service focuses on digitally transforming customer care at scale through the power of artificial intelligence. Now, embedding AI technology with D365 customer service to detect emerging support topics as they arise, allowing you to proactively deliver better customer service experiences. The AI-driven technology basically enables targeted actions to improve case resolution rates, possibly help with reduce wait times, and decrease customer service costs. As in this slide, I'm trying to highlight this out completely. And yeah, sorry. Oh, did this slide move? No, can you go back, Haley? Sorry, I'm a bit. I think I'm getting the slides move automatically on my end. Sorry about that.
I thought the slide built, but this one doesn't. So I was.
No worries.
It doesn't seem to build. So sorry, Gibran.
No worries, no worries. Okay, so building this. So I wanted to highlight how this whole AI feature ties into our customer service side of things. As highlighted, we're going to, within the omni-channel experience, we are enabling bots, allowing to deflect simpler or even initial data capturing aspects within a case can easily help you reduce costs. With the supervisor experience that I've talked about, it allows you to have a visibility on identification of topics, automation, and measure impact. Overall, there are magnitudes of features that are available from now till September 19, which like automation with virtual agents. Or high volume or emerging solution scenarios. You can use that and then use the virtual agent designer with graphical designer interface, where a customer service manager or an administrator can build complex dialogue trees and curate an end-to-end conversation between the customer and the virtual agent. This empowers individuals to encapsulate their business understanding and conversational best practices without requiring to actually code or have any artificial intelligence experience. These are just a few features that are slated for public preview in May. I want to now move on towards what is being released in April and highlight those features. Thanks, Haley. So with the whole stage being set up for customer service insights, enablement of bots, and the features coming in May, in April we have enabled the customer service insight, which uses AI to automatically group similar cases into topics. Right now, these topics. This was a public preview feature. Now it's become GA. These topics allow customer service managers to get more visibility into key drivers of various KPIs. The topic represents a group of three or more similar cases discovered through artificial intelligence, right? What we do is we take let me one of the requested feature was to view cases that AI automatically groups into topics. Now that's what we've enabled. You can do that through the new topics page. Users can improve results of topic clustering by managing the generated topics. AI model learns from these feedbacks to improve topic clustering and personalize the topic generation over time. So you have like 10 cases that are resolved with the same solution. Those will be categorized under one topic, and hence, giving the ease of suggestions automatically in the background. While customer service insights works out of the box with data stored in CD, common data model, right? The default D365 entities and data fields are already there, right? With the data mapping wizard now also allows importing data from custom fields and entities. Users can map their custom entities and fields to customer service insights schema. This wizard allows you to filter the data being imported based on time and other properties. Now, this feature allows companies to build further on analytics by bringing custom data captured within entities to provide a fuller picture of what is being deployed. So it gives you an overview of not just the out-of-box features that were there, out-of-box entities, but you can have custom entities and custom fields being brought in to understand better SLA result times, and so for help you understand how you can move forward. Going further, I think next would be the topic on marketing side of things for Haley.
Yeah, no problem. Great, thanks, Gibran. That's some great little features there. I'm going to touch really high level on marketing, just in the interest of time. But with the April release, there are tons of new capabilities introduced around the marketing workspace. I'll cover just a few highlights today, but full details are on those release notes. Definitely worth having a look at. As a core application, the driving goal for the marketing application is about turning those prospects into business relationships. And by this is all about driving effective demand gen for new business through to doing things like personalized interactions with customers as you engage with them throughout their life cycle. So we really wanted to bring a strong alignment of the sales and marketing teams together as well. So they have better visibility of what each team are doing. You can see, how effective a campaign has been, and obviously sales can start to flag their account contacts for a particular campaign that they may want to engage with. So really, like other areas, so like customer service and sales, we've got key value pillars and themes that that will kind of help you understand what we're focusing our investments on. You can see those up on the screen at the moment, but they're all about providing better insight and intelligence on your customer data, giving a more personalized experience and helping you get up to speed quickly by improving things like the fundamentals of the application to make it easier to move through and easier to even potentially extend as well. So what you can see are just here, it's just I've got one single slide on marketing just so you can see some of the highlight features of the April release. I've broken these down into two sections so you can see on the left hand side what's in general availability, and on the right hand side what's in public preview. I'll pick out just a few rather than go through each one of these, but let's take easy onboarding and adoption. We've really improved the onboarding experience for someone who's getting to grips with the marketing application for the first time. So things like basic tasks of how to run through creating a campaign or generate an event or run a mail shot. This has all been put into our easy onboarding guide. So it's really simple for a user to go and have a look at those and work through step by step to get those up and start using it really quickly. Really worth having a look at if you're new to the marketing application. Sales integration enhancements. Really important, I think, is connecting the sales department to the marketing department so you can see how successful your marketing investments have been. And we breaking down those silos has been really, really key to our planning for the April release. This feature actually allows a sales individual to add their contacts to a segment or a marketing campaign with minimal effort and fuss. So this is great if a marketing person is running an event and they would like maybe their key account managers or sales individuals to nominate their key contacts to attend that event. This integration enhancement allows the salesperson to do that really quickly. Social posting. The ability to be able to communicate to customers in a variety of different channels is critical to success in marketing nowadays. And so the ability to be able to post a marketing message via something like Twitter or LinkedIn or Facebook is something that we've now enabled within the April release. It's our first shot into social posting. There'll be loads more capabilities coming in the future, but this will essentially allow a marketer to post a message directly to those social channels from within the marketing application. Enhanced event registration and check-in experience. If you've not looked at the events module, it's fantastic, really comprehensive. So if you want to define and create an event to allow people to register for that event, manage everything from sessions to catering to hotels to managing attendance and wait lists. The event capabilities are really strong in this application. We've improved them even further with the April release. So we've added in some improved session registration capabilities, QR codes, so you can start to scan for registration for a particular session, for example, and enabled wait listing, so you can start to put on cut-off periods for when your session is full and open up a wait list, which you can start to draw down on should spaces become available later. Definitely worth having a look at. Event registration is fantastic. If we look at more the public preview side of things, looking at some of the AI capabilities are in preview. These are great. Smart scheduling. If you want to be able to analyze when it is best to send a communication out to your customers, and it's a real art form to try and work out when's the best time to get somebody to go and read one of your emails and be able to pick those up. It's one of those key things that people are always looking at. So from an intelligence perspective, we're looking to analyze your past data and start to do things like suggest best time to send a particular mail shot to an individual, so you can improve things like open rates. So that's going to be, I think, a critical piece of functionality for a marketeer. Segment Boost. Segment Boost is about finding other contacts that resemble and behave like the contacts that you've selected already for a segment. So, for example, if I've created a segment which is based upon a lot of different criteria, maybe to do with their buying habits or where they're located or and maybe a particular past history of information, the intelligence engine can then start to look at potential patterns to spot other potential groups of people to add in and enhance your segment to essentially boost the amount of people that you potentially want to communicate with. So this is, again, great functionality and something worth having a look at. It's in preview at the moment. Another one I'll just pull out, there's a few others on here, mixed reality content. I think this is going to be the future for quite a lot of different tasks and applications, but in the marketing world, being able to do things like 3D experience content. So if you're going to send communication out to somebody where you're talking about a particular product and you want them to get a real good look at that product from a 360 degree view, maybe you might want to do a 3D model of that as part of your email shot. So we're doing quite a lot of work and experimenting with mixed reality and how we can start to enhance the communication that goes out to an individual, so they can get a true experience really of what the products and services are that you offer. So some really interesting things here in preview that we'd love you guys to have a look at and obviously give us feedback on so we can start to develop further. Quick, very whistle-stop tour of marketing. There's a lot more in here, but in the interest of time, what I'm going to do is just hand back to Gibran now to just talk a little bit about next steps before we open up to Q&A.
Yeah, thanks, Hayley, for that. I know we're running a bit closer to the cut time, so let me just close this off with thanking everybody for taking the time to hear just a few highlights from the April release of Microsoft Dynamics 365 for customer engagement. We have so many exciting updates available. We could only just pick a few to highlight, in the context of time. Just to highlight a few things that I would recommend you guys to look at is, as a best practice and a next step, assign somebody in your team to take time before each of the releases to review the latest notes and test out any new planned functionality. Having one eye on the roadmap will always help you plan your delivery milestones and reduce any critical, like custom work that could be delivered out of box. So that would be the key feedback from our side. It is also important to make sure you test them out. Test the features out with your business before committing to deployment. This will help you identify quick wins and keep your business excited about the future. Also, as FastTrack architects, we are here to help. If you have any questions and need guidance on planning and deployment, feel free to get in touch with your FastTrack architects. Thanks again. We'll now open for question and answers if anyone's got any. I know there were some on the chat. I'd answered one. We can have a look at it and we can open the floor for QA. So, Hayley, just to highlight, one of the questions that I think still pending is Dirk asked regarding the AI for sales availability in EU, or is it only for US?
My understanding is the intention is definitely to make it available across the board. Some elements may initially come out to the US to start with, but the definite intention is to make sure that these are available in public preview across multiple locations. So maybe have a quick chat with your architect on the area that you're most interested in, and we can just deep dive into it for you.
Sure. Thanks. I've put the link for the AI for sales planned features. From the looks of it, it looks like a wide deployment. It doesn't have the star sign on it, so should be good.
It should be good. It depends on what the area is. I know there's some new things that they're thinking about that may start in the US to start with.
Sure. Any other questions?
Okay, I think that's it. Thank you for everyone to attend, and we'll see you in more or less a month for the next session. Thank you.
Thanks everybody.
Everyone.
Have a good day.
Thanks everyone. Bye.